I killed Nathan Hale. I had no choice. He was becoming one of them. He could have stopped me, but I think he wanted to die. At least that's what I keep telling myself.
Hello there, Sir from 17 once again, introducing you to Chapter 18 in my Resistance 3 Superhuman difficulty video walkthrough. And this level is entitled Wasteland, and if I'm completely honest, this is another difficult level. It is one of the longest levels of the game. It's one of the most physically demanding on skill, as far as your gun skill and your strategic positioning and everything. And this part right now is actually the end of Chapter 17. It doesn't say it's 18 until we crest over the dead Widowmaker, but semantics, pragmatics, it's all the same fucking thing. But the reason why this is difficult is there is a ton of shootouts, and they're long shootouts with interesting checkpoints. There's a lot of enemies, there's a lot of aggressive enemies, and on Superhuman, you die so fast, you really do, and until you play it, you don't really know how quick you die until that first barrage of bullseye hits you, and you're like, Jesus Christ, I'm nearly dead. So, it's more challenging than it would have been on Resistance 2 thanks to the regenerating life, and it's probably more challenging than it would have been on Resistance 1 because you could regenerate life on that one as well. It was just a different system of doing it. But once you push through here, there's the lovely title card of the chapter, and here we are, Chapter 18. So you're going to be moving through a lot of buildings that are snowed in and decrepit and, you know, crumbling and what have you. Holes everywhere, ridiculous amounts of damage and debris standing in your way, but there's also going to be a lot of ammunition because a squad came here and attacked this power conduit before we did, or before Joseph did, so they're going to be leaving ammo for you around their bodies because unfortunately they didn't have a lot of success. As soon as you come in here, that door will be busted through and a bunch of Chimera will be on the outside. I completely forgot about it, hence why that guy took me off guard, but if you put the auger on, you can finish off the rest of his friends with very little trouble, because for some reason they didn't come in the room, they stood outside, and I got to massacre them with a gun that shoots through walls. So, not the fairest of encounters, but at the end of the day we're trying to win, and this is the best way to do it. And this section of the game really reminded me of the first Resistance, because when you got to London on Resistance 1, when you were playing as Nathan Hale, it was the exact same kind of principle. Everything was deserted, you were on your own, you felt this heavy weight of desolation, and it was all snowy. The entire town was covered in snow, and you were moving towards these massive monoliths, these megalithic structures that the Chimera have built. And you didn't know what you were doing, you were entering the belly of the beast, so to speak, and it was just mysteries upon mysteries. But this right now, I don't like this firefight coming up, and the reason for it is there is a handful of really ridiculous checkpoints. There is also a shit ton of enemies, and they kill you so fast, there's not a lot of life, and there's a lot of the long legs, that will kick your ass as well. This is one of the hardest fights of the game. What I found out though on my recording run is there is a checkpoint that you will trigger when you move through these buildings, and as soon as you trigger it, it will, if you die, you spawn outside before the enemies even turn up. So feasibly, once you die and you hit that checkpoint, you can run to the end of the level and have no trouble. But I didn't know this, so I was fighting for a good 10 minutes for all I was worth against what seemed like an endless spawn of Chimera, and they ended up killing me. And when I respawned, I was out in the open, nowhere near where I'd been having this really, you know, epic standoff, and I just ran forward and I did the section in 30 seconds, which had taken me 10 minutes to struggle through. So as soon as you kill the first bunch of enemies, you want to run out of this building, and you out of the C-130, and you want to get into this building here. There's some life, and get behind the door as quickly as you can, because what will happen is directly in front of me, Chimera will spawn, and they will somehow appear at the end of this corridor and start shooting you. And they seem to be able to hit you a lot better than you can hit them, which is a pain in the arse if you ask me. This spot right here though is a lot more dangerous than it looks, because to my left there is a ramp that I ran up that leads into this building, and the Chimera will flank around and come through the door and come really close to you, and if you're not aware of it, they can shit you up, they can catch you by surprise. Here they come now, I could probably hear them on my Tritons. So he runs past, he disappears somehow because the auger's range is a little bit strange at times, and his buddies are over there. But The slower pace you take this, the better, because it will definitely benefit you. You just want to be cleaning up as many hybrids as you can, and as soon as you see a checkpoint, you want to run. But my video is going to be a little bit disjointed because I had to edit. There's no H on edit, goddammit. I had to edit out a long section of defending in a room that was just pure suicide. But for the meanwhile, just kill people with the marksman. Drop a turret if you need to, if you think you're getting swamped. Use the auger to have every advantage that you can, and just keep cleaning them up with well-placed shots. There is a couple of situations that are like this with snipers and buildings, and you're not quite too sure where they're coming from. There's actually a section coming up on this very part where there's a guy with a rocket launcher, and the Chimeras are bastards when they've got those rocket launchers, because they treat it like the arseholes on Modern Warfare treated one-man army. They'll just stand there spamming the rocket, just boom, reload, boom, reload, boom, reload. Even if they can't see you, they'll keep firing at where you are, and the splash damage on the rocket is incredible. It's absolutely incredible. And there's nowhere that's really safe from it. You cannot get yourself into a vantage point where you can kill him where he can't kill you. So you need to be really quick, and this is him now. He's just hit me then, on the other side of the concrete, with splash damage from a rocket launcher. That is how much bullshit that gun is. And he's just above that guy. He's to the left of him. He's up on about the 4th floor, to the left. He's about 11 o'clock from where I'm standing, and he just keeps firing. Rocket, rocket, rocket. He's an absolute dick. I hated him. I really did. I was throwing obscenities and he didn't even exist. I'm cursing at something that's imaginary. But right now I'm using the auger because you never know if you're going to run yourself into a trap. That is a Chimera. That is a rocket. Look at the splash damage. I now have 1 bar of life because of that asshole, and I can see him through this gap, but if I move too far forward, the splash damage is going to kill me. So now there's a lovely little game of cat and mouse, where, did you see the rocket just then, the plume of smoke? I know where he is. I just don't think I can get to a safe enough spot to take him out. Luckily enough, with the marksman and with this lovely little hiding hole, that is exactly what I managed to do. You'll notice I jump a little bit out of the way just in case the splash damage gets me, and somehow I managed to kill him without him killing me. But he is a bastard, him. He is an absolute bastard. You need to make sure you kill him as quickly as possible, because he's going to cause some chaos. But once he's down, this is the time you want to be moving up. The only problem is, there are still enemies knocking around, and I don't have a lot of life, but luckily enough, there is a life file there. That saves my ass. And I'm probably going to do a little bit of exploring. So, right now, I could feasibly run, and I would implore you guys to do the same. Do you see where I'm looking at there? Just run. Run all the way up there, all the way up the ramp, go into the building, and go onto the elevator. Job's done. I don't do it. I end up getting killed by an asshole. But you're gonna see, you're not gonna see it because I've edited it out. But you're gonna see a really, really bad transition where I've put a crossfade in because I couldn't get the footage to line up at all. So I had to put some transition in, or it would have just looked stupid. So there's another rocket launcher guy that you've just seen there. He's got a lovely plume of smoke, but this one I can see with the auger, so he isn't a problem at all. And 3 shots later, he's on his back, and victory is ours. But there are still Chimeras, so you want to be really tentative, and you'll notice I just rush straight into the building to the right. I should have gone to the left and up the ramp. So I go this way. There's a Chimera, far too close for comfort. There is a lot of them in this room. You need to be super careful, put the shotgun on, and as soon as you get the checkpoint, kill yourself. Because when you die, you will respawn outside, and you can just run straight forward and skip this entire firefight with the long legs. It is completely unnecessary, and I didn't know until I died on this section. So you're going to see the transition in a moment once I kill this guy, I do believe, because I stayed in this room killing about 30 Chimera, and they just kept coming up and flanking me. There was nothing I could do. But there, come on, checkpoint. Where's the checkpoint? Come on. Oh god, he's close. Very close. Good night, son. But I think it's when I move up to these stairs, when I decide to, because you'll notice I'm not confident where I am at all. Right now, this is a dangerous spot. I don't have a lot of life, and I'm in trouble. But I keep pushing forward. Come on, checkpoint. Come on, checkpoint. There's the checkpoint. Transition's going to follow. I should run then. I should have ran. You need to run up that ramp, and it'll skip it all. But instead, there's the transition after I died to where it spawned me, and then I just... And you're going to see laser sights on you, you're going to see long legs, but as long as you get past them, you are safe. Right now, you've done it. You completely beat that section. You can completely skip the rest of it. Just run up here, Go through the door to my right, I believe, and there is an elevator shaft you need to drop into. So there you go. There's the objective completed. And how much easier is that compared to sitting in a room and fighting off 40 of them, eventually only to lose? I was so pissed off because it would have made a really good piece of footage to put on YouTube purely because it was one of those really interesting firefights where I had no life and I was still somehow alive. But it didn't end well for me, and thus I trimmed it out. But what I'm looking for here is I couldn't quite remember where to go, so I do apologise for that. But there's an elevator shaft, and it's not up there. I keep trying to jump up there. It's not up there. It's straight forward to my right. Do you see it? It's just there. Once you drop onto it, the elevator will fall in, you know, cinematic glory, and then it will be the next section of the level. But the next section is another quite challenging area, and it's going to be on another video. So, once again people, I hope the guide's helping. It'll be Dead Island after this, I hope you look forward to it. I'll also be finishing the Enslaved and the Red Faction guides for the people that have been using them. But, yeah, thanks for watching, and you take care now.